What's up, guys? Jordan here with the Deck Box. Coming back to you tonight with some more Ptcgo. I'm actually really excited to show off this list. It's one that I've been working on pretty much since before the release of Burning Shadows. I actually picked up one of the new cards for it like the day of the Burning Shadows pre-release, so I could start working on this. Been playing it for a while, really enjoy the deck. Haven't played it in a little bit though, so I figured tonight's as good a night as any to give it another shot and to showcase my list to you guys. I know Erika has shown off her Alolan Ninetales box deck. I will leave a link to that in the description so you guys can see the differences. She used that one in one of our tabletop matches. Sadly, she played it against my Metagross deck, so you can kind of imagine how that went. It went actually not 100% as you'd expect the whole time. She did fare pretty well considering her weakness with Ninetales. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to in the description to the tabletop match and to her deck profile so you can see those in comparison to my list here and how they fare. But anyway, we're going to hop right in this list and kind of showcase how we play our Ninetales deck and why we play it the way we do. So obviously we're focusing around Alolan Ninetales GX and the, not Remoraid, the baby Alolan Ninetales. And so we'll start off by talking about Ninetales GX and we'll move into the other ones. So it has that attack, Ice Blade. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so you can snipe the bench, you can hit the active, only for a double colorless, which is great. The only downside to it is a lot of basics right now have between 60 and 80 HP. There's not a ton of 50 HP Pokemon. So that is the downside. You're probably not going to be one-shotting anything that's on the bench. However, you can still take some cool little knockouts if a Pokemon's been weakened enough. You can just snipe it from the bench, take it out. Or you can get something stalled in the active and keep hitting the big Pokemon in the back, weaken them up a little bit. So that is one good thing about Ice Blade, and it is a very quick attack to get going, just one double colorless. Next, we do have Blizzard Edge. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, and you do 160 damage, which is actually not a terrible number. With a Choice Band, you will be taking out pretty much every basic GX or EX. Typically, they'll have between 170 and 190, so you'll be hitting that perfect number. So the downside, of course, is you're not going to be one-shotting stage 1s, and you're not going to be one-shotting stage 2s. That's where Ice Blade comes in. So you potentially what you may want to do, depending on what you're going against and depending on if your opponent's really paying much attention, is start with your Ice Blade. Start with your Ice Blade, and then start with also using Tapu Koko's Flying Flip. And you can spread a little bit of damage on the board, and then come in and clean up with Blizzard Edge to take the final bit. So if you were to Ice Blade once, attach Choice Band to this Ninetales GX, and then Blizzard Edge, something like a Decidueye or a Gardevoir, you will be hitting 240 damage, taking a 2-shot, kind of like a 1-shot. So it's a little different. So the reason I say to do it in that order as opposed to starting with Blizzard Edge and moving to Ice Blade is because typically if you hit your opponent for a large amount of damage, they're going to Acerola or they're going to Max Potion him. So it's kind of a psychological thing. Like I said, if your opponent's smart, they'll realize what you're trying to do, but they may miss it sometimes. They may not have the Acerola, they may not have the Max Potion. So you just Ice Blade them once, weaken them up, and then come in and sweep with Blizzard Edge. Last, we do have that Ice Path GX attack for just a double colorless. Move all damage counters from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. This is a great attack with this Alolan Ninetales, and the reason is obviously it has 210 HP, and so essentially it can take up to 200 damage and then just throw it right back at your opponent. And so the way you want to do it, in my experience, depending on the deck you're playing against, if you're playing against a basic deck, hit any one of them you want. If it's a Bulu deck, take out Bulu. If it's Coco, whatever. But a lot of times you'll be playing against Metagross or Gardevoir or some bigger stage ones like Golisopod or maybe another Ninetales that are just out of reach of hitting that perfect one-shot. So what you can do that I've found, every deck okay, we'll say about 95 to 98% of decks right now play Tapu Lele. How much HP does Tapu Lele have? 170. If you take 170 or more without being KO'd with your Alolan Ninetales GX, just Ice Path GX onto a Tapu Lele, take that easy knockout, you get 2 prizes, you have a fresh Ninetales. That's how you play this card. I know there are some people that will play this with the bodybuilding dumbbells, and I totally respect that. I may actually consider doing that in the future because you can beef up to 250, and then you can take a little bit more damage and then put out a little bit more damage with your Ice Path GX. The reason I don't play it currently is because that's really the main reason you'd be using it, is just to use this attack the one time. And you can just as easily take 2 prizes on a Tapu Lele as you can on like a Gardevoir with that attack, so why waste the space in the deck? The second reason is people know why you're playing the dumbbells. They know it's because of Ice Path GX to give you a little bit more boost. So they're going to feel blower. That's going to be their focus the whole time. So I'd rather be more proactive in this deck in particular. I'm not against dumbbells. Just in this deck in particular, it makes a little bit more sense to me to play the Choice Band and be proactive with my hits. On top of that, if we play that Choice Band with Ice Blade, we can actually 2-shot something like a Valk or a Turtonator. Actually, without a Choice Band. In the active, we can 2-shot those. So keep that in mind. Don't try to focus too much on Blizzard Edge in those matchups because you're going to do 100 base anyway. So just 2-shot those guys. So really a great card. The other card we want to look at is the Baby Alolan Ninetales. Oh, by the way, we played 2 of that Ninetales GX. Forgot to mention that. And we also played 2 Alolan Ninetales babies. So we do a 2-2 split. I've seen a lot of 3-1s, but to me, this Baby Ninetales is just as important as the Ninetales GX. It has that Luminous Barrier ability to prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX. And as we've seen in this format, it's just EX and GXs everywhere. You've got Guardy, you've got Metagross, Golisopod, Ninetales, Tapu Lele, Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu. Tons and tons and tons of GXs. Those are your main decks. Now there's a random few, such as Garbodor and Greninja. And then even in Gardevoir, they will play typically 1 or 2 Gallade. Those are your non-EX or GX attackers. There's not a ton of them. This pretty much covers, I would say, more than half the field as far as preventing attacks from GXs or EXs. And so you can pretty much just set up a wall and just keep taking knockouts, and they can't really do anything about it. With a Choice Band attached with this Aurora Beam, you're going to be hitting for 110, which will typically 2-shot just about anything other than your Stage 2. So it's going to take care of all your basic EXs and GXs and all of your Stage 1s. So a great, great card to include. I mean, it's just a great card. The only deck that is... Okay, not the only deck, but the main deck that's going to give you a lot of trouble is going to be Metagross, of course, because he can hit for weakness, and even with Gardevoir and other decks like that, if they try to attack you with a non-EX or GX like their Matangs, or actually in Gardevoir would be Curlia, they're not going to be able to one-shot your Alolan Ninetales, your Baby Ninetales. But in Metagross, they have Matang, and Matang can one-shot your Alolan Ninetales because of that weakness, and he just hits huge numbers. In fact, the Matang with a Choice Band can one-shot your Ninetales GX. So in that deck, Matang serves 2 purposes, so that will be a difficult spot for this. This card is that Metagross has an answer for it. Most of the other decks that are focused around GXs don't really have an answer. Some of them are getting smarter and kind of figuring out ways around it. Of course, there's Gizmo. You can get around it and things like that. But if you can stall your opponent just a little bit, it allows you to set up a little bit more and allows you to potentially take 1 or 2 knockouts. So definitely a great inclusion. With those 2-2 split, we do play 4 Alolan Vulpix with the Beacon attack, of course. As I mentioned before, we play 2 Tapu Koko with the Flying Flip attack. This helps us just to spread a little bit more damage, kind of weaken things up a bit, putting our Ninetales GX within range of just taking easy KOs. And we do, of course, play 2 Tapu Lele for the Wonder Tag ability, and a 1-1 Artillery Line, for that Abyssal Hand, just to be able to dig through some more cards. Next, we'll move into our items. We do play 4 Aqua Patches. This is, of course, to get our Water Energy from our discard pile directly onto one of our bench Water Pokemon. This is a great, great item card. I love this card. It works really, really well, especially in this deck, I mean, obviously. Next, we do play 5. We play one energy recycler to shuffle back 5 basic energies from a discard pile. Obviously, Aqua Patch can only get us so far, and we do have to be careful with our energy counts, with Ninetales GX discarding 2 every time that they use Blizzard Edge. So we do play one energy recycler just so we don't run out of those. We have to be careful with that. We do play 3 Field Blower. This deck isn't completely focused around abilities. However, in certain matchups it can be. So we really need to make sure that our Garbotox and Garbs do not have any tools attached so that Ninetales can do its thing, Tapu Lele with Wonder Tag, and of course our Abyssal Hand. So that's why I play such a high count of those. Next, we play 3 Max Potion. Obviously, our GX attack allows us to heal off completely. So what we're trying to do, I guess, is essentially get a few more of those. And with Aqua Patch, it's not too big of a deal because we can just recycle those energies right back on. Next, we do play 2 Rescue Stretcher just to be able to get our Pokemon back. Since we only play a 2-2 split of the Ninetales GX and Baby Ninetales, we do need to play the 2 Rescue Stretchers because there are times when we have to discard these, or if they're KO'd, we will need them back at some point. And that is, of course, the risk that we run playing such a low count of those. So far, it works out pretty well, though. 3 Ultra Ball, of course, to search for any of our Pokemon. Along with the Ultra Ball, though, the reason we only play 3 Ultra Balls is because we do play 3 Brooklet Hill. This allows us to search out our Vulpix and our Remoraid's. And then we do play 1 Bridget, hoping for the turn 1 Bridget. If for some reason we don't get it, though, having Brooklet Hill makes a huge difference just to be able to act as a secondary setup. Preferably turn 1, and I've had this happen numerous times. We get our Tapu Lele to get our Bridget. We set up our Bridget. We put down a Brooklet Hill. Our bench is filled up. We're ready to go for turn 2. That is our preference. Doesn't always happen, but that's what we aim for. Next, we do play 3 Guzma. This is, of course, to bring something into the active stall for a little bit and keep sniping the bench with either Coco or Ninetales GX. And for our draw supporters, we play 3 N, 4 Sycamore. Play a little bit higher Sycamore count because we're okay with discarding things in this deck, mainly our energy. We're totally fine with getting rid of it because we can just get it right back with Aqua Patch faster than if we were to hold on to it into our hand. Then, of course, we have 4 Choice Bands just to hit a little bit better numbers. 4 DCE, and 8 Water Energy. So that is our Alolan Ninetales list in a nutshell. Now what we're going to do, we're going to hop on the ladder, see if we can get some quick games here, and hopefully some wins with this deck to kind of showcase it. And like I said, I will be leaving a link in the description to Erika's profile and to those matches that she played, because I think it's great to see a couple different variants of the same deck. I missed what they were playing. I think it may have been Metal Psychic, which is not good for us, even though it said we had advantage. No, it was Fighting Psychic. I'm sorry, guys. Fighting Psychic. They have a Psychic coin, a grass deck. It says Fighting Psychic. I'm all over the place. And we start with the Tapu Lele. Not a bad opener, other than we will potentially have to get rid of an Aqua Patch. Our only hope is that we can top deck an Ultra Ball. So they're playing Machamp EX. Have to remember what this guy does. Okay. Interesting. Machamp keeps coming back to haunt me in one form or another. I will say that is some sweet artwork there. And he pulls out a Hoopa. Interesting. And he gets 2 more Machamp EXs. He's got just about every type of artwork you could have. He only lays down 1 of them. It's interesting. Oh my goodness, we top decked the Bridget. That is awesome. So we're going to grab our Remoraid, our Coco, our Vulpix. Let's dig through our deck, see what we're missing. We did prize 1 Baby Ninetales, 1 Aqua Patch. We prized a Guzma. Yeah, we prized 1 Guzma, 1 Sycamore, 1 Energy. Not bad prizes. Pretty evenly distributed. To top deck our 1 Bridget, though, is insane. If you guys have seen any of our other videos, mine personally, my online ones, you'll know that lately I have been really increasing my my Bridget counts to 2 because it's way too risky not running 2. to prize one of them. So to have only played one and to top deck it is just great. All right, so we have an awesome setup. I'm really happy with this. Let's grab Octillery to dig. And it looks like it's an all EX deck. So we're grabbing Baby Ninetales. And if it's all EX and they don't play enough Gizmos, we're in a great spot. We can two-shot all these guys and take some easy wins. All right, so he gets some more HP. Gets up to 200. So if we get a choice band, we can definitely two-shot this thing. And he gets that empty hand Sycamore. All right. Put this out here. I'm gonna, let's use our Brooklet Hill first. Alright. Actually, let's Abyssal Hand and see if we can get our Gizmo. Oh my goodness. Guys, we're just getting everything we need. Let's bring this guy up because there's no chance of him getting a Float Stone. Alright. Awesome. Okay, so we get things going. Now, the only difficulty we're going to have is we do need to Field Blower the Heavy Boots off and get a Choice Band this next turn to take the KO. If not, this will be a 3-shot either way, and that's okay. If he's stalled in the active, I mean, he has a 3 retreat cost, and like I said, no way of him getting a Float Stone. He's just going to scoop. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually okay with that. Wasn't really a meta deck right now, so wasn't super interested in playing against it, but honestly, for me, and I don't know how it is with you guys, but for me, if I play against something that's not meta or really kind of unknown, like Machamp EX, like I haven't really seen much of that lately, it really kind of throws me off. So this one is Grass, Water, Lightning, Psychic. So this could be Decidueye Ninetales. This could be Bulu Vikavolt with the Vulpix tech in there. All right, great. So we start with our Coco. And we get Lele, which gets us the turn 1 Bridget. We have our Brooklet Hill. This is awesome. As long as we didn't prize Bridget, which if we did, we'll just... all right, so it is Decidueye Ninetales. And we get a Remoraid. Do I even play... Lele right now? I don't think I do. I think I save Lele for next turn. For now, I'll grab a Vulpix. Attach an energy. I think I'm just going to pass for now. Next turn, we'll use our Brooklet Hill, which, yes, I know that probably helped them. They're probably going to get a Vulpix with it. That's okay. But we'll be able to use our Brooklet Hill again, lay down Octillery, attach an energy, draw a few cards. Depending on what we get, may or may not use Lele to get a Sycamore or something. So actually, not a bad start. I know that was kind of odd not searching for the Bridget turn 1. I just didn't feel it was quite necessary yet. All right. So yeah, they do use our Brooklet Hill. Now their bench is filled up. Good news and bad news for us. Good news is they will not be able to lay down any more Vulpixes to get set up, and they will also not be able to lay down any more Lele. So that's a good thing for us. Let's get you here. That's Abyssal Hand. Nothing I really want to get in the active right now. Actually, what I will do is I will Beacon. And actually, I should have grabbed the other one. So having the Baby Ninetales is really not super helpful for us in this matchup because they do still their feather arrow can still hit us, so it doesn't block abilities, so not really worth it. And flying flip can still snipe us, of course. So unless he gets like Floatstone DCE, he can't take out our Vulpix this turn. So we still do have a shot. Oh, and he's going to end us away. That's fine. We still get 6 new cards. It's not a huge deal. It just kind of stinks because we did have a pretty decent setup going. But we may get better stuff. We still get our Ninetales back. We still get a DCE. So that's good news. What's the game plan here? Oh, you know what? I forgot to... Did I use my Brooklet Hill last turn? I don't even remember. Whoops. So I'll place you down. You know what? Let's get proactive here. I'm actually going to get rid of my Brooklet Hill so they can't use it once I start taking knockouts. It's Abyssal Hand here. See what we get. Get an Aqua Patch. Alright, that's not bad actually. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to Guzma up one of their Dartrix and take it out before it can become a Decidueye. The question is, do I get rid of my water? I think I do. Normally when I play Blizzard Edge, I would discard the DCE because it's easier to get it back up. However, I have an Aqua Patch, so I can start setting up with my bench Pokemon, and I can still keep sniping with my active, so it's okay. I'll play it a little bit differently this one time. Alright, so he gets a Decidueye up and running, which is the bad news for us. The good news, though, is we still have plenty of other win conditions on the board. Our biggest, not really a big difficulty, but they also play the baby Ninetales, so that could be a problem stalling us. However, we can still just snipe around that Ninetales, so it's really not a big deal. Alright, so let the feather arrows begin. Alright, so we are going to Aqua Patch onto one of our Vulpixes. Yeah. I'm okay with getting rid of that stuff. We don't need Bridget anymore. We'll actually start setting him up to hit 160 again. We'll just Abyssal Hand for 1 this turn. I think I'm okay with that. And let's see, what I need to do is I need to Ice Blade a Decidueye twice, and then Blizzard Edge it. Or just Ice Blade it once, get a Choice Band and Blizzard Edge it, and then there's the KO there. So if we can get an energy this turn, we can use our Rescue Stretcher to grab our Lele back and Guzma the Decidueye out. Yeah, and they realize that they also have to Feather Arrow that Ninetales. I guess that may have been a wasted play because now they're going to focus on it a little bit more. All right, let's see here. Let's field blower that guy away. We'll heal him off. We're not going to do it to the GX because he can heal himself. We will just energy recycle both these back. We're trying to blow through our resources here. It's Abyssal Hand twice, or for 2, rather. We do get a Choice Band, and we get a Gizmo, but we don't have the energy. That's the difficulty. Okay, let's see here. How do I want to play this? Can hit for 120. So he's going to hit me again this next turn. If he gets a Choice Band, I'm done. Yeah, he probably doesn't play max potions, so what we're going to do, a little unorthodox, but we're going to use our GX attack on the Lele. Following turn, we can Ice Blade, even if he gets out of the active, take a KO on his Lele, and I'm totally okay with that. And see, since the way we've played it so far, our board up until this point, we're completely healed. Nothing's been KO'd yet. We did use our GX attack in not the most optimal situation. That's because they kind of forced our hand with their baby Ninetales. So you can kind of see how irritating that can be. But it's workable because, like I said, you can just snipe everything else. And we see a Gizmo. All right, he's going to start trying to take out our baby Ninetales. He sees how irritating it can be. And that's fine. If he's going to go for those 1 prizes, I'm totally okay with that. So yeah, we're just going to Lele Gizmo. And what we're actually going to do, we're going to Gizmo up a Decidueye, leave it trapped in the active, and snipe the Lele. Now the downside is we are using our last Gizmo. But we're getting use out of it. So, and what we're actually going to do, we will shuffle back into the deck so we can draw a few more. And what I'll actually do, if I get an energy, oh no, I don't get an energy. I was going to say, if I get an energy, I'm just going to take out the Ninetales now, but I don't. Well, that's attached to this guy. I'll also put a Choice Band here. And then we will Ice Blade, take out the Lele. Alright. We got the water energy, great. So if he can't get that Decidueye out of the active, we're going to take another KO the following turn, and then we just have 1 prize left to take, which will likely be our Coco. He does get the Float Stones, that's okay. No concern there. Let's see. What is our best option? I guess we just keep sniping. We can spread with Coco a bit. So even with him ending us to 3, that's actually okay, because we can just Abyssal Hand, and we can get Ultra Ball with 2 water energy, which isn't terrible. Because we can actually Aqua Patch those back. I think we've only played 2 Aqua Patch. No, just 1. We still have 3 Aqua Patch that we haven't used, one of which was prize. He's going to take down our baby Ninetales. That is okay. And that brings him to 5 prizes. So he's really having to work a lot harder than we are to get his prizes. All right. That's Abyssal Hand. actually going to retreat this guy so we can hit with this guy. Alright. Okay, so now the baby Ninetales has to hit us 3 times to take KO on our Ninetales GX, which is good. I don't know how many choice bands he plays. He's already played 2 of them. So he does have the potential for 2 more. And we have played all 3 field blowers. We have kind of run our resources low, but that's okay. And he follows up with another N, which is actually awesome for us. We got a max potion. So what we'll probably do is just heal off that Ninetales. Let's see. Oh, and he gets the Espeon out there. That's scary to see. He's going to be really mad whenever I max potion this off. Alright. Let's attach here. Let's just shuffle these guys back in. Attach a choice band here. And we'll Abyssal Hand for 5. See what goodies we can get. And we'll Flying Flip, spread a little bit around the board. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, a good tech in this deck would actually be an Espeon EX. I don't know how I overlooked that. Because, yeah, you can come in and sweep with some nice KOs there. And let's see, we've played 2 max potions, so we still have 1 more in the deck. And right now we're just going to thin our hand and our deck. And click done. So now what we're hoping for is a max potion. Slow him down a bit more. Nope, no max potion. Let's see. Don't want to Aqua Patch because he's just going to get it back. We'll hold on to that for now. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. If he's just going to devolve, then do we just hit for a little bit more? Kind of soften things up. 170. Sorry guys, thinking real hard. Probably harder than I should. We may have hurt ourselves early on. We will just attach to this guy. Get some utility out of him before he gets KO'd by Espeon. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the best play. Oh, you know what we should have done? We should have Aqua Patched onto the Octillery, put the DC on this next turn, because you know he's going to bring Espeon to the active and devolve everything. So we could have got him stuck there, taken 2 prizes there, and then try to sweep with our Cocos if possible. We did not play that right. Alright. So he's going to take 1, 2 prizes this time. Tying up the game. We are going to promote our Coco. Alright, let's see. How do we recover? We do put our Octillery back on. think maybe we do try that that hug play in the future. Let's see, what could we possibly get to help us? Here, we'll get rid of these guys because we know we're not going to use them at this stage in the game. So we have an N in there. Have some energy. Oh boy, running low on stuff. Let's just N. Put myself and my opponent at 3 cards. Okay, so I'm going to hold off on Abyssal Hand for now. I don't want to dig too much. We're already putting ourselves pretty close. We would still need 3 more flying flips to take down this guy, which is going to be tough. What we have to hope for is that he doesn't hit an energy this turn, and it gives us a little bit more of a chance. Decides to start setting up another Ptcgo. Interesting, with as late in the game as it is. I imagine he'll either snipe twice on the artillery. Nope, he's going to take down the Coco. That's a smart play, because if you take out my artillery, I really don't care at this point. I'm not going to keep Abyssal Handing through cards this time, because I'll just end up hurting myself more than anything. And it's good to take that out, because it was Choice Banded. It was doing 50 to their active. And let's see. Still have 1 more Choice Band hiding in there, which we could get with our Abyssal Hand. We may dig for that. Cutting it close. Cutting it very, very close with this match. That's okay. It's exciting. You gotta wonder what he's thinking. If he's gonna try to start flying flip, which really wouldn't hurt too much. Oh no, he's just gonna start swinging with the Ptcgo. Oh boy. Bringing out the big guns. Yeah, he played this. He played this 100% right. Is he debating whether or not he's going to attack now? I don't know. He's kind of hanging out. There we go. Oh, he's just, what? He's going to hollow hunt. Oh, okay. I am extremely confused. I mean, those are good cards to get, but, like, I don't know how that helps him over something else. Whatever. Guess I could start attaching to a Lele. If I do this, put 100 on here, or would I be better to do 130, 200? Start hitting them harder now. Alright, so I mean, he's going to take down my Coco with a Feather Arrow and a Razor Leaf. Yeah, I think he's going to take this game. If it's not this turn, it'll definitely be next turn. an Abyssal hand before we put the energy on. I don't want to draw that many cards. It's just all energy, of course. Alright, so we're just going to hit him for 100, and I mean, he'll be able to two-shot us. Actually, it's not even about two-shotting now. He's got his Espeon set up. He's going to take it this turn, as long as he's paying attention to what he actually has. Ah, man, we're so close with the sniping. Skyla, are you just going to go for a float stone instead of paying retreat? Really doesn't matter at this point. I don't know what he's doing. So while he's thinking, we'll talk about our mistakes in this game. Blew through Guzma's a little too quickly, especially consider they played the baby Ninetales. Early on, whenever we talked about discarding DCE versus discarding double water energy on our Ninetales GX, I mentioned how I usually do DCE, and I went with the water this time. That was a misplay. Should have just done the DCE, because it ended up messing us up in the long run. But that's okay. That's why we do this. We learn from it. It was a very close game, surprisingly. Moved up a little bit on that. And we see Ninetales GX as our MVP there. Alright, let's grab one more game with this. Let's see, the first one was Machamp. That only lasted a few turns. Then Decidueye Ninetales. Decidueye Ninetales, I would personally say, is the better variant of Ninetales. Oh boy, is this Noivern? Psychic Dark Dragon. Yep, Noivern. It's gotta be. And yeah, deck box, Noivern. So, oh man, he's gonna shut down our Aqua Patches. But, oh, you know what? No, he won't. Well, yeah, he will, because this is just effects of attacks done to this Pokemon, not done to the player. The player's who's getting shut down. We'll grab the DCE and place this here. And I will get rid of these because we can hopefully Aqua Patch those before he gets us. Oh man, we prized 2 Vulpixes, 1 Aqua Patch, a Brooklet Hill, an N, a Choice Band. Not great prizes. It's okay. At least we can bridge them out. Next turn, we can shrink our hand down to 0, and then play a Sycamore, which is really good. The top deck that we want next turn, though, will be a, what's the word? Aqua Patch. That's what we're going to want to go for next turn. And we will click done. So the advantage we have over this Noivern deck is, of course, they do have to play both. Oh man, they play E-Hammer. Of course they play E-Hammer. They do have to play both Psychic and Dark Energy to attack. It's not like an Expanded where you can just play a double Dragon Energy. I still think that they will reprint that at some point. I'm just not sure when exactly, or maybe they might change the mechanic of it. Who knows? We will see. Excuse me as I open a soda. Alright, probably a Bridget. I imagine that's what he's going to grab. Oh no, Sycamore. Okay, interesting play. Is he emptying his whole hand, or? Okay, he's got some cards to play. Quite a few cards to play. He's playing the Wishful Baton. Oh, got to discard a Pokemon. Lele. Okay, so he's able to play everything down. And yeah, Wishful Baton definitely makes sense in that deck. And he's all about getting rid of our energy, isn't he? Let's get you up here. I'm actually going to play that on the Coco instead of the Ninetales for now. Get rid of those. Grab an Octillery. those guys. And click done. Oh, that upset him. So I have to be honest, this is a matchup I don't 100% know how to play against because you really don't see a whole lot of it. Okay, we do get end. I'm okay with that, actually. Our hand's not the best. I'd rather not discard a bunch of stuff with that Sycamore. Get a Guzma, that's okay. Alright. May use that in the future. Now, this deck's tough to Guzma install something because, of course, oh goodness, forgetting the word. The Noivern GX has free retreat, which is just insane. And the Tapu Lele GX actually only has a 1 retreat. So, little troublesome there. Let's see. Hate to energy recycle, but we haven't seen any of our aqua patches, and they will likely get to the point soon where they'll be able to use those. Or where they'll be able to block those, rather, sorry. I think I'm going to use Ninetales. Start hitting that Noibat back there. Grab a Brooklet Hill and start setting up. Oh, that's right, we prized a bunch of stuff. Those Vulpixes are going to hurt us. Hopefully they don't, but we'll see. So, alright, if you can't evolve that this turn, you could take an easy KO on a Noibat. I would not be upset by that. And he's smart. He's playing the Breakthrough Noibat. The one that came out in Burning Shadows only has 50 HP. That's one of the few basics that we could have taken down, but he was smart and played the Breakthrough one. And he's playing on a Krozma. The good thing is his GX attack won't damage us for too much, that Black Ray, since we only have 1 Ninetales out right now. And let's see, what I may do soon is actually put Coco in the active, hit all the GXs, and then take a KO on the Noibat. And then they're all within 1-shot range for my Ninetales GX and 2-shot range for my baby Ninetales. We just have to hope he doesn't get a Noivern, which I imagine he should be getting one soon. I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet. And he'll need one to stay alive. He also plays Garb. I imagine it's just the ability lock Garb. Oh, maybe he plays a split. Probably a split. Does he get Noivern? Oh, wow. Okay, then. I am okay with that. Let's attach to retreat. Yeah, we'll end. And we'll attach the choice band so we can hit the Lele for more. Alright. Take the first KO there and weaken everything up. Hopefully his Lele gets stuck in the active for a little bit and we can just keep whacking away at him and take an easy KO. I would not be upset by that at all. Alright, so we should be seeing the Noivern here. I don't see why they wouldn't grab him. Yep, there he goes. So that Distort attack does 50 and it cuts off your items. So that is kind of an issue for us since we play the Max Potion, we play Aqua Patches, things like that. So that's going to be tough for us. But we've gotten pretty well set up that it's not too big of an issue. And then he also plays the other attack, Sonic Volume 120. You can't play Special Energy, and then Boom Burst does 50 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So could be an issue. Oh, and he actually E-hammered off of our Ninetales, our GX Ninetales, which I'm okay with because I wanted to use Coco again. Shuts off our abilities, so that baby Ninetales, it doesn't matter anymore. And he's just finding every way possible to shut us down. Alright. So the good thing is he's going to have to 3-shot our Coco unless he decides next turn to play Sonic Volume. That'd be fine with me because then I can just Aqua Patch. Do I N? No, that would just give him more cards. I will just Flying Flip. Now what I'm actually hoping for is, I don't know, maybe after this turn, I hope that he uses Sonic Volume to shut down our special energy, because then we can play our Aqua Patches. However, the good news for us right now, might be too early to say, but he's actually almost out of resources, which is great. I have no problems with that. We'll be able to attach here. And really no point in ending, because I would just get more items, which doesn't do any good for me. I mean, the best I could do is maybe get another Coco, but no DCE to play with. Nah, I'm just going to keep Flying Flip, do what I need to do. Now he's going to take the KO on my Coco this turn. If I can get... No, Choice Band won't matter because can't attach it. He's at 90. Our last Guzma would be great, actually, if we could get something stuck in the active. Alright, so he's going to play the N, leaving his deck at the same amount, bring us to 5 cards. Really not much we can do there unless, like I said, unless he uses Sonic Volume, which would be amazing if he did that. He just keeps shrinking up his deck. If we can stay alive long enough, we're fine. We're in the clear. This guy would need to be hit. Let's see. We need to make him a win condition. Him. And let's see, what are you at? Actually, we can take you out this next turn. So we can take down Garb, Lele, and the active Noivern. Those are our 5 prizes that we need to probably shoot for. Starting with Garb. Okay. I'm going to attach that. Take him down. Down to 4. So 4 to 5. There's one of our Vulpix. Really won't need him right now. And he actually just gave us an easy KO. Oh, no, just kidding, he didn't. He prevents us from using our items. Let's see here. We'll just Blizzard Edge. Take a KO. And then If he brings up his other Noivern and doesn't take a KO on us, we get the win with our GX attack. He's slowing us down with our items for sure, but that's fine. We're still working around it. I don't know in this matchup if he'd be better to shut off our items or our DCEs. Now, he did kind of hurt us a little bit shutting off our abilities as well, but we managed to work with it. So we can do 120. If he gets a choice ban and an energy, he can take us down on his other attack. However, I haven't seen a single psychic energy this entire game, so I don't think he plays a psychic variant. Which is interesting. And he actually just lost himself the game because of what we are going to do now. We're going to attach here a little aqua patch for the fun of it, just to make sure. We're going to rescue Stretcher. We're going to grab a Lele. We're going to use that Lele to get ourselves a Guzma, as long as it's not prized. Yep, there we go. And we're just going to bring up that Noivern and hit it really, really, really hard. Thank you. Well played. And actually, I'm going to say he has a good deck. That's one of the tougher Noivern decks I've played against. It's interesting that they didn't play the Psychic and they just chose to go all dark. So there you have it, guys. 2.5 matches with Ninetales against some not entirely orthodox decks, but that's okay. You definitely get to see how it works, the cool tricks that you can do with it, and why it's a good deck, to be quite honest. So I'm going to flash the deck up on the screen one more time, excuse me, so you can see it. And if you choose to play it, let me know how it does for you. Let me know if you make any adjustments. Like I said, one thing I would change, I do need to add an Espeon EX in here. I think that definitely would have helped us in that Decidueye matchup. In fact, I guarantee you we would have won the game had we played that. So that's one tweak I'd make, probably take out a Water Energy and throw one of those in there. But yeah, guys, there's a list for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope I haven't embarrassed myself too much with the list. Like I said, I'm going to keep working on it. Maybe bring it back to you in the future. Be sure to check out the links in the description. We're going to have Erika's profile down there of her Ninetales deck and the tabletop match that those were featured in. So guys, like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. I've been Jordan with the Deck Box, where we want to know what's in your box. Have a great night, guys.